Welcome back to Bob and Jeff. We are very happy and honored to be joined on the hotline by the son of the iconic, the great Jackie Robinson. His name is David Robinson. David, how's it going this afternoon?
It's going fine, Jeff, and it's a pleasure to be with you today.
Absolutely. This is Jackie's birthday. He was born 105 years ago today. How do you and your family honor this day and reflect on your father?
Well, we remember the tremendous impact his integration of Major League Baseball had on American society, black and white. We got a chance to see each other working together, playing together, improving the quality of our lives together, improving the quality of baseball together. So it's a day to celebrate the strength of unity and integration.
Absolutely. And there are extenuating circumstances for why we're talking today, which we'll get to later. But it's interesting and amazing because I've also talked today to Carl Erskine, who is 97 years old and an old teammate for a long time of Jackie's. Yes. with the Brooklyn Dodgers, and that's just incredible. I mean, who would have ever thought that opportunity would present itself? And then, of course, the opportunity to talk to you. And in my mind, it goes to all these historical places. How do you put in perspective, as someone who grew up, and that was just dad, Jackie was dad, how do you put in perspective his historical impact?
Well, as you say, he was father, and the impact we saw was, to a large extent, inside the house with his family, with his wife, with his children, and our extended family. And we just enjoyed coming together as a family and as an extended family. But it was the same type of enjoyment. One of the fun days of the year for us was Old Timers Day, when we went down to the baseball camps in Florida, and all the old timers were down there for the weekend playing together and remembering the days when they were professionals at sport. And it just brought warm memories of what type of success, what type of human development can happen if we decide that we're going to work together. And working together certainly made the Brooklyn Dodgers a better baseball team, and America just became thrilled with the potentials of what we can do together and what Jackie Robinson brought to the game of baseball.
Talking with David Robinson, whose father, Jackie Robinson, was born 105 years ago today. So obviously when we're talking about this statue, it's the Jackie Robinson statue here in Wichita. There's a lot of mythology and a lot of mystique and the aura and the spirit. These are all words that kind of get thrown around when you're talking about a statue maybe of anybody, but especially Jackie Robinson. So in what ways do you think the man Jackie Robinson was different from the myth and the mystique and the aura? And in what ways does he live up to all of that?
Well, he was a man of quiet temperament. He was very gentle with his family. He was not a swimmer, nor was he a fisherman. But to be with his sons, we were out on the Long Island Sound fishing, deep sea fishing. He and I were up in Canada in a huge lake in a very little rowboat. But that was the man who wanted to be father, who extended himself to be with his children. The myth of the fiery competitor, you can see that, and it amazes me to this day, Jeff. I've looked at the distance between third base and home plate and said, how is it that a man can consider stealing home? And it's a remarkable tribute to one of the things that he brought to the game of baseball, which was greater daring and greater success at his daring as a base runner. So he was a bold man, a courageous man, but a simple and quiet father who really wanted to work with his children to make a better life for them and to give an example to American children across the nation as to what a family could be and what a team could be together.
For sure. So this is probably a story that's just out there, and I probably missed it. But when did Jack become Jackie?
That's an interesting point. As a man becomes, as you say, an icon, a legend, a familiar figure, a figure that you feel that you can put your arm around if you have the honor to meet him anywhere in the streets or in America. You go from the more formal to the more informal. And so I think you're talking, well after 1947, but you're talking in the 1950s when Jackie Robinson became a household name, became a figure of success, and people wanted to identify with him with the warmest component of the name, and they chose Jackie. And I would say, that was as his career developed, and they began to own him as their own.
David Robinson, our guest, honored to be joined by the son of the late, great Jackie Robinson, born on this day. So you're born about 5 years after Jackie became a major league player. How much of his career do you remember? I imagine seeing it on film in a lot of ways helps you maybe remember. And what were those following 15 years or so like, or 20 years? I guess 5 years after he played, and then 15 more years with him like.
Yeah, I said the baseball element was the old timers' day. The father element was at home with him as a father, and within our extended family of relatives who would come together Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, and all summer long on our property in Stamford, Connecticut. But during those years and the years that I knew him as father, it was as an advocate for social development. When our churches were bombed in the South, he was there to raise money to rebuild those churches. When we wanted to talk about economic development, he was there in Harlem starting a bank to be a lending agent to businesses. And just a constant spokesman, joining political parties in terms of trying to make the political system better for the American society. So it was an advocate for social development, equality in America, advancement for the African American community. That's the way he lived his life, and that's what he pressed in his sport that he loved of baseball, to see that baseball began to expand its agreement towards inclusion, so that we didn't just have baseball players on the field, but we had a diverse population in the back offices of baseball, and that baseball became a more and more inclusive sport.
What did he, and we're working still toward a time where we acknowledge everyone's uniqueness, their backgrounds, their heritages, and everything like that, and still, come to just accept them regardless. That's a problem that may never be solved. But what did your father teach you about race and what it meant in his life, and how maybe ultimately, when you were young, how you might have to encounter problems such as those?
Yeah, I think Jackie Robinson and his generation, both black and white, exposed the myths of ignorance that together there was some kind of damage that would be made to any particular group or to society, that integration was going to be a negative as opposed to the tremendous positive that it was in terms of people being able to learn and work with and benefit from each other. And all of my life, I live in Tanzania, East Africa.
Wow.
I'm a coffee farmer, and I work with a cooperative of small-scale family-owned farmers who also want to be part of the global coffee economy, which is the same as the African Americans wanting to be part of the national sport of baseball. And as farmers integrate themselves into the global economy, bring more money home to their farming communities, we see it in America as well. When you benefit the little guy in terms of economic development, the whole society is benefited and prospers by families being stronger, communities being able to invest in health and education and housing. And these are the things that can bring us all, make us all feel better about working together, because we can see the success of working together, living together, and having a better life together. And that's, I think, the message of Jackie Robinson, the message of the Dodgers, and what baseball showed to America and the world, that together we truly are stronger.
I love that. Thank you. And, you know, one of the great miracles of Jackie's life is that it lives on through you, and especially his wife, Rachel, who is 101 years old, and we continue to get Jackie's light through her, through you, through the rest of your family. How is your mother doing?
She's doing great, 101 years old. But Jeff, I tell you, Jackie Robinson continues with the 42 Youth Baseball League.
Yes.
It really it's America has embraced a more positive and better human value system, and it was exemplified by Jackie Robinson and the Dodgers in baseball. But whenever you have youth leagues or community organizations or statues that represent that type of integrity, that strength of the individual Jackie Robinson is being carried on and will continue to be carried on, because the people are growing even today, all these years later, in recognition of Jackie Robinson and his importance to society, and the qualities that we should integrate into our own lives to make our lives, our families' lives better, based on what Jackie Robinson taught us.
Absolutely. Final moments here with David Robinson, the son of Jackie Robinson. So we'll get to what I brought up early, the statue itself here in Wichita. I know the design and everything went through your family, and it was signed off on. Obviously a point of pride here in Wichita. We love having him represented here and through League 42. So tell us about what that statue meant to your family, and when you heard about what its fate was.
Well, Jeff, again, it represented a community in embracing the message and the values of Jackie Robinson. And part of that message and values was to stand tall, to stand with courage. And I think when we heard about the theft of the statue, we saw it as an unfortunate event, but the way Wichita responded was really exemplifying what we all learned about Jackie Robinson, which was to not lower your head, to not quit. And so I send my heartfelt congratulations to Wichita for the strength in which they responded to that theft, with the raising of funds and the intent to immediately rebuild. And I'm thankful that no one was hurt physically in the incident, and I hope the perpetrators get the help that they need. The courts will exercise their input, but these are people who are troubled mentally, and these troubles are not exclusive to those particular thieves. It's work that we all need to do to try to find the right direction in our lives. And the Youth 42 League in Wichita can be one of the institutions, and the way the community responded in Wichita and across the nation is an example that we're not giving up and that we're moving straight ahead. And that's a resilience that can't be beat, and statues can be replaced.
And truly inspiring stuff. Thank you so much for sharing some of yourself, your time, your story, your family story, and the memory of your father, Jackie Robinson. Could not be more honored or proud, and really appreciative. Thank you so much, David.
Well, thank you to you and your family. I know in Wichita you've done a great job, and it has a great meaning on our youth and our future.
Absolutely. Thanks, David.
All right. Thank you now.
All right. Have a good day.